welcome back to another episode of Quantus on the FTOG server. Welcome back. I'm over here at the gold farm. Hi, face in my face. Gold farm today. The gold farm is something ftog'ians made a little while ago. Added a lot of modded blocks since the original design. Did a lot of stuff. It's a very simple farm. You shoot the zombies and they go and fall down and get destroyed and experience arrives and stuff like that. It's that simple. But I came over here to do some enchanting because it's a good enchanting table setup with XP coming up to you at the same time, which is a very good thing. So I can just stand here enchanting stuff. I've since run out of books, however. I no longer have books. I'm actually here trying to get efficiency. And could you believe it, right? I did all of these books and all of these books, all rubbish, all level 1 virtually enchants, virtually level 1 enchants, sometimes level 1, level 2 enchants. And it's the last 2 books that got me efficiency 1 twice in a row. And it was the efficiency 1 that I came here for. Amazing. And now we get back down by just going down here. I can actually fall down, fly down, whatever. I can do all that. Doesn't matter. Because we're in the Nether. Hi. Hi, Zombie Pigman. How you doing? I haven't actually used this very often, and nor has anybody else by the looks of it, unless they've been taking all of the gold. 10 gold blocks left remaining. Everything else goes into this chest here and gets destroyed. I have not done anything to the Nether hub since I left the project in this state. People have been adding to it with different areas, but I've never done the Nether hub in particular. Which is a bit of a shame. It's a bit of a shame that I've never got around to it. I said I would get around to it as soon as I had a quarry. And now I've got a quarry, I'm busy doing something else. So the main reason that I want these books is so that I can get more of these root farms going with the extra upgrades. Efficiency upgrades would be nice. This is kind of a glitch. This is chunk loaded this side. Up to this point here, this is the chunk border, chunk boundary. I've built it across the chunk boundary. It's still technically working, but it's not connected in the right way. So I break it and I put it back on. And I need to chunk load this side as well. I need to chunk load this chunk in order for it to work properly. I think it's still technically working because it's still using those, but it doesn't register this maybe. I don't know. I'll have to do some experimenting with that. But I've got some auto feeding into the death generator. The death generator is feeding the bones directly in from the farm. The farm is feeding directly into the ender chest. I want all the farms to feed into the ender chests, and I want the ender chest to feed into the relevant generator to generate the power into the whole system here, so that the system can then power the farms, and hopefully I can make that as efficient as possible. Hopefully, which is why I need the efficiency. And if I'm going to waste, well, it's like an inventory full, about 18 books to get some efficiency books, it's not worth it. It's going to take me far too much time. It's not like I haven't got enough paper and leather, but still, it's quite a lot of time. It's quite a lot of time, and I don't want to waste all that time. So, I'm going to waste my time in another aspect instead. I'm going to waste my time in the other way instead. I'm going to do some bibliocraft. Bibliocraft also adds it. Not only does bibliocraft have all this wonderful wooden furniture and things that we've dealt with in doing my office, but we also have typewriters, and I can type books. No, that's not right. I can do typesetting tables, printing presses, and some other bits and pieces. I think there's some other bits, basically, yeah, these print presses and things, which then allow me to copy magical books. Copy books, which is good. I can copy books. So I need to make some of these things. A typesetting table and a printing press needs to be created. All the XP! Yeah! And yeah, with all the XP coming in, it's very easy then to take the bibliocraft stuff, which I just prepared, to get all of this to work right. Now, these things, yeah, in order to see them best, you need reading glasses from bibliocraft. Reading glasses are very simple to make. A very simple little recipe. Decent enough. And you need these chases. These chases printing press chases are also really simple to make some slabs and some iron ingots. That's all there is to it, right? You put a chase on the top. Building height is... Oh, building height. Okay, I didn't think about the building height when I was setting this up. I guess I'll have to do that a bit lower down. Let's do it on the side here, like this. There we go. And this one is probably going to have the same problem. I can't place something on it. I guess it counts as being placed on, even though I build height over here. I don't know. Let's put that in there anyway. Okay, and then we'll put a chase on here like so. Ting. And then the book that I want to copy needs to go on this side here. And then I sneak and right click. It tells me how many levels I'm going to require. It's going to require 16 levels to copy the book onto the chase, right? And then I put the chase into here. The chase will only last for 3 books, so I'll only be able to print 3 books. I could put a load of ink on there. No, a load of ink on there. Put the chase back in there. Put the chase back in there. There we go. And then if I put a blank book or 4 or 5 or however many, I'm only ever going to get 3, but I put blank books on there like that. That should get started on the printing side. Did it give me my ink back? No. Oh no, it's doing it. It's doing it. We're just lagging out because of all of the experience stuff. So this really doesn't help. Really doesn't help being in this situation where all the experience is everywhere. Look it up. Okay, I need to have a better place to do this experience and bookmaking stuff. Okay, so as I was saying, now I've stopped all the zombies dying and coming after me and all the XP has got into me. The chase does 3 copies before it breaks. So I have to make a new one for every 3. So I end up with 2 profit every time I make it. Which is okay. It's okay. And then I click that to take the book. And then the book becomes mine. And I'm back to 2 again. And then so on. It costs me a chase each time and a few levels each time. So long as I've got a good XP farm close by. Which this is a good XP farm. But it can be a bit laggy when everything's running around and I come away from it to do some stuff and bits and pieces. It can be a little bit laggy. As you can see, there you go. I've got all 3 books. So now I've got 4 books, yeah? And some spare books there. So I need a better place. That's what I'm saying. I need a better place to do this. And there is in the Woot a block in particular that I've been looking at that gives you an experience orbs. Let's have a look at Woot in here. So I think I need to do an experience orb farm. Where was it? No, mass upgrade, no, rate upgrade, looting upgrade, XP upgrade, okay? The XP upgrade. So, experience upgrade, collect XP. So somehow it collects XP. And I don't know how that works. But it requires the look of the sea. Now the look of the sea, I could make it in an enchanter with a couple of lapis to make it. Enchantment costs 20 something. It seems to be variables. Book and quill in an enchanter. The enchanter isn't too hard to make. A bit of dark steel, but the dark steel, I haven't done any of the Ender IO stuff at the minute. I could quickly do that. And enchant stuff that way. And so we can make one of those. we can just make an alloy smelter. We can just do it. Because we've got the technology now. We've got all of the powers and things that we need to worry about. And I'll put it here for now, but I need to change that first, don't I? I need to make sure that this is an output. Let's output that. That's input, output, alloy smelter. Power up. Input, output, power up. There we go, sorted. And then what was it for the enchanter? Dark steel. 4 dark steel, which is required to be 4 cold dust, 4 obsidian, and the like. Okay, so how can we make crushed coal dust and coal powder and all that kind of stuff? 4 obsidian, 4 iron, and 4 coal powder. So we get a sag mill, and we just break the coal down in a sag mill. Is that all you have to do? Is that going to be enough? It seems to be. So 4 coal into 4 coal dust, and then we can swap that over with the alloy smelter. And away we go. I wasn't actually thinking about going into some more high-tech stuff than Ender IO. Ender.io is cool, and all of the high-tech stuff beyond that in this mod pack are cool. I managed to get 5 powder. Nice. But I'm trying to do a little bit more low-tech in this. I'm trying to stay in the ages of alloys only. That, and that. There we go. I'm trying to stay within the ages of lower tech, because the castle and all that kind of stuff is going to look a lot better in the lower tech eras, I believe. And I'm doing high tech in another series, so there's no point doing it in both series at the same time. So this little bit here, this little extra bit of things and bits and pieces like Woot is about as high tech as we're getting, powered by immersive engineering to get things going. I think I'm going to turn this little tower area, which is on the front of my castle, this little tower area on the front of my castle, into a library, an enchanting library. Mob drops and enchantment things. I might have the mob drops kind of stored in here, and the big library feel. I might have the mob drops and stuff stored all over the place, in fact. Not all necessarily in the same system all the time. This is going to take a little while. We'll skip to when I've got all 4 dark steel and I can make the enchanting thing. The enchanter table. I'm guessing, yeah, he uses XP to combine items and books and quill to create enchanted books. Blah, 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 blah. Should be exactly what we need. And in our library, I think I'm going to be doing lots of stuff revolving around all sorts of moving and doing things with enchanted stuff. So we'll bring that into here as well. We'll just have everything on this wall for now. I think some of these things look so cool that they need special places within the library. And the library needs better walls, and I need to concern myself with this connection here and all that kind of stuff. The build style needs to be done. But what we got here? We can do, well, we can do this. Show recipes. We've got to make a book and quill first, don't we? We need a book and quill. If we don't have a book and quill, then we're not going to be able to do any writing of books there anyway. So let's get book and quill sorted out. Vanilla recipes need sorting out. Let's have one like that. Have we got a feather in there? I do have a feather in there. Awesome. Okay. So, as far as I remember, from looking at what we just looked at, the special of the sea thing, look at the sea, 3, is that there? Yeah. Can I just do it with less? No. Can I put it in like that? And it's look at the sea 1. Okay. What do I actually need to get the XP upgrader? Where are you? You're in here. XP upgrade 1 is look at the sea 1. Okay. So an XP upgrade 1 is look at the sea 1. That's only cost me 13 levels. And that should then get me started on the overall setup. And I can put that in here and start getting XP from it. Is the plan. Anyway, is the plan. Let's put that down out of the way for now. And the sag mill. Put that out of the way as well. I know they need power, but don't worry about it. And then we make this first one. What have we got? Fish and chiseled quartz and one of those upgrades. Well, I do happen to have one of those upgrades there, but it's ready for the next thing. It was ready for the efficiency upgrade to make it more efficient. But now I need fish. Do I have fish in here? Do I have? I've got a clownfish. I've got a clownfish. Does that count? I do not need to go fish. There's fish. There's fish. There's normal fish. I want to check to see if it does other fish anyway. Let's just see if it does other fish. So this look of the seas goes in there. We'll put a clownfish in there. We'll put that fish in there. We'll put that fish in there. Does it work? No. Okay. Do I have to do this way around then? I have to do real fish? Yeah, I have to do real fish. I say real fish. What's wrong with these fish? Raw salmon and clownfish. They're vanilla fish. Why has it got to be raw fish that are not compatible? Anyway, let's put this down over here now. So I want to test this out to see if the skeleton spawner can do XP now. So we'll get rid of these 2 for now because it's not really working very efficiently. And we'll put the level 1 upgrade on there, and then we'll place the mob controller on the top. So now it should start giving out experience as well. So it should put XP in there. Aha! There we go. So right, it delivered me an XP shard. It did do quite a few processes before it delivered this shard, but right click to use and gain 16 levels is decent. So right click to use, gain 16 levels. I didn't gain 16 levels. I didn't just get... What? Gain 16 experience. Okay, for each shard you gain 16 experience. Okay. Okay. Well, that's going to have to run for a lot then, isn't it, to get the experience from that. But that's okay. That's okay. We shall base our findings off the first thing. This here, this death generator, only generates 40 RF per tick anyway. I don't think there's much more I can do unless I craft it into a bone block first. And then it's 120 RF per tick. And judging by the amount of bones I've got left over in here, it might be possible to make something happen where I'm making bone blocks to feed into those generators, to make those generators pump out the maximum. But there are some other ones as well, like slimes and bits and pieces that I've hinted on wanting to do previously. I would like to go through and try and figure out all of them and have some kind of woot processing for each around and about here. This kind of area, I might end up with 4 woot processing plants. And a library of storage over here to sort them all out in. Well, there's a few more things that I want to do in here anyway. And I want the efficiency upgrades to be a thing. So I'm going to have to work on the efficiency setup first, I think. I got an extra raw fish in there. The efficiency side of things, I need an efficiency 1 setup and I need an efficiency 2 setup, which leaves me an efficiency setup spare, which is good. And an anvil to combine the two together. Yes, I do have that as well. Let's combine that one and that one together. Make the efficiency 2. And then I can potentially copy the efficiency 2 so that I don't have to do that again. Copy efficiency 2 into there. That's going to take how many levels? 19 levels. I've got 24, so we're good for that. Okay. And then print out a few copies of efficiency 2. We can have 2 more copies of efficiency 2 over there. Crack on, enchanted plate. Oh, actually, I'm going to need to put the ink back on it as well, aren't I? Let's put 3 ink on there. There we go. Alright, so I can make a copy of that, then I'll use that up. The efficiency 1, I've got a spare copy. I'll probably need some bookcases to store all these enchanted books in and things like that. I'm going to need some sort of sorting system to take items out of this chest and store them somewhere into this room. So, yeah, you've seen me make drawers before. I'm going to make kind of like a library wall with drawers of different things and different bits and pieces. I think we're going to need to have some sort of platform running around this sort of height. It's kind of similar to that height as well. So if I can tie the two in together, that height there and this height here, then that'll be awesome. We'll just have to see how close of a tightness that is. Seal this wall in a little bit and make a doorway into the library and mess around in here a little bit. I'll do some basic work, a little bit of basic production, and I'll be back. Right, what are we getting there? This is taking quite a bit of time. I'm enjoying the time spent, though. The time spent feels worthwhile. The time spent is enjoyable. As long as time spent is enjoyable, then time is well spent. Yeah, that's what I think anyway. So I'm working through making this place look like a library. And it's starting to have the resemblance, possibly because of the excessive amount of books and bookcases. Oh, and I've had to make all them books and bookcases as well. It's been quite a time making bookcases. I have been able to do a few bits and pieces of bookcase making using the Tinker's Construct method, or using the Tinker's Construct recipe, using purely wood and no leather. Just 2 wooden stencils, that's it. 2 stencils. I'm also looking at this. Look, I'm trying to do 2 things at once. 2 wooden stencils and also some string and some paper to bind them together to make books. So I've been doing that and making lots and lots of bookcases, and always I keep running out of bookcases. I don't know how I can keep running out of bookcases, but I keep running out of bookcases. Fact, run out of bookcases. There's lots of bookcases. What can I say? Other than there's a lot of bookcases. That goes in there, that goes in there, that goes in there, thank you, that goes in there. Yes, job's good. Alright, so how are we getting on? How are we getting on with it overall? Right, well, the downstairs section, I haven't finished putting the mob drops sorting system in here. At the minute I've got this very quick and basic setup. of which that really shouldn't be there because it's connecting up. I'll just throw those things away, throw that away, throw that away. I can do something with the enchanted stuff later, but basically I'm just getting this sort of stuff done at the minute. Why is that going in there? That going in there, that going in there. This is set up so that only bone meal is blacklisted, so that would mean that everything else can go that way, and that is filtered so it's blacklisted, so arrows and bones and XP shards don't go that way. So it's kind of this random leather stuff and bits and pieces. All I'm saying is this isn't properly sorted yet, but I'm just kind of getting a feel for the shape and size of the area that I've got when I get around to it. So the downstairs is going to be kind of similar, sort of this size, and the upstairs we've got a nice roofing section with a lighting source up there as well. And we come up here and we're on the top here, and we got this balcony running around. We've got kind of like shelving that's into the shelves, set up like so. That was just because I didn't like having the stone showing at the bottom there, and then of course I didn't like the stone showing at the top there either. So I ended up taking those out and doing some messing around with that. Give me some of this. And I also want to label which shelving systems there are. So over here I started figuring out what kind of labels there were, and then of course I changed it so that I'd put the oak stairs in there instead. So now I've got to take them off and do them again. But there are quite a lot of enchanted books. Let me just type in enchantment. Mint. There are quite a few enchantments. And what's that? Growing module. Don't need to worry about that. And enchantment table, obviously. But that's a lot of different types of enchantments from lots of different mods. So we've got the vanillas and we've got all of the other mods as well. Quite a lot of different things to mess around with and worry about. It can left shift for enchantment descriptions if we really want to see what's going on. But that means that I've got lots and lots of potential bookshelves for everything. And I wanted to try and keep it kind of like Protection 1 was all on one shelf. Then it would Protection 2, Protection 3, Protection 4, Protection 5, and then Soulbound at the bottom. Soulbound. That's kind of what I wanted, but now I also want to change this bottom shelf to be something better. Give me all that. And the books as well. There we go. To make it look a little bit neater and tidy around here, I'm going to have to reorganise that again now, because I want this here to make it look like a shelving unit. But then I wasn't really getting much more than this anyway. I was getting Protection 1 to 5 and Soulbound, Protection, Fire, Blast and Projectiles. I was going to have one shelf each, like one shelving unit each, because I really only wanted like one of each book. I didn't want to have loads or just dispose of any spare ones. Feather Falling, Frostwalker, Depth Strider, all of that kind of stuff going into there. And then there's only a few more for helms, like Respiration and Aqua Affinity and all that kind of stuff. And then I'll be on to something else, like weapons or tools. And I wanted to try and keep them in different sections. So like a weapon section, a tool section, an armor section, that kind of stuff, working my way around the library so that I've not only got a library, but it's organised and sorted. So one more thing that I'm doing just to try and change things up a little bit, just so it's not all very vanilla, is I'm taking out a lot of this stuff for a start. I think I'll probably take the whole thing of that out. We might be running out of space, yeah. And then fill it in with wood. Yeah. That'll do. Oh no, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to get. I've run out of bits. I've run out of bit space. Get that in there. Get that in there. Can I have some more of these, please? Yeah, I'm trying to figure these bits out just to try and make it so that we've got some decent amount of books looking like they're in the bookcases around it. So it goes up and around. So I'm taking these bits out. These are actually stair blocks. I need to get rid of the stair blocks and put wood blocks in there instead, and then take them out and put those in like that, you see. And then we should have it looking a little bit more like it's fully stocked of books. It's a lot more stocked when it's got all that around there. And then we go and get rid of some of this stuff down here and put those down there instead, so that the footwell of it's done. And up here, I want to change this out as well. I think I get rid of this section here. Oh, I'm going to need a new chisel bits bag. My chisel bits are going everywhere. Well, I've been around doing chisel and bits in all the way around the outside of it, getting the bookcases to blend in so that when there's books there, they will kind of almost, it will look from a distance like the whole thing is books. Books, books and more books, only broken up by a few stone doorways and a few stone windows and bits and pieces. And I've even done that little corner section there, which is now where I'm going to be doing my duplicating books. All these different sections are going to have different names on them, different signs and bits and pieces like that. I've even brought the flooring out a little bit this way. I could probably do with taking that down a little bit more, actually. I don't need it to be so high. I could probably take it down a few planes, down to kind of it in the same level as that. Oh, dang, I forgot to put my thing in the bar. There we go, thank you. Do it like this. Just make it so it's a bit nicer looking. Yeah, there we go. So we go out into windows and have a look out of the windows at the glorious world around me. This one's just bookcases surrounding this bit. So all that's left now is for me to get on with just kind of, well, I guess just duplicating some of the books out. Just making some of the books so that I've got spare books. Doing a little enchanting setup down there, getting all the books that I need, getting some more bits and pieces done for the farming side of things to do these different farms, and just make the upgrades that I need the root farms for. It was kind of a nice product. It was kind of a nice project to take a break from all the automation of the power station, the power plant, and the root and all that kind of stuff, because I haven't got a library. I didn't have a library in my house, and now I do have a library in my house. This area down here I will still be working on another time, maybe next episode, who knows. We might do next episode. I won't tell you what I'm doing next episode until we're on to next episode. Don't I look cool with my glasses on? Cool with my glasses and my wings. Awesome. Yes. Let's go there and that. There we go. So, thank you all very, very much for watching today's episode of Quantus on the FTOG server. I've enjoyed playing around, making this library sorted out. There will be some other little bits and details in here. I might put a few pictures up and a few armor stands and little odds and ends that as we find them, they'll go, oh, that would look nice in my library, and find a place to put it in the library. But for right now, it's a practical library for storing books. And that is what, in essence, you need a library for, isn't it? So thank you very much for watching today's episode. I will see you in the next very soon. Goodbye.